Well, you must have put a spell on me. Can't you tell I'm so into you? And I see the way you want me. I got you hungry, I'm so into you. Baby, what's the harm? Having a little fun. Baby, what's so wrong? Having a little fun. We've been working hard, having a little fun. We've only just begun. All day, all night, we will have a good time. Come on, let's break some rules tonight. Why not? Why not? Come on, let's break some rules tonight. Why not? What do you say? Follow me. Now what do you say? Follow me. Come on. Now what do you say? Follow me. Follow me. Come on. Say, I really like the way you touch me right away. I'm so in the mood. I wanna play, but I'm gon' make you wait. I'm not done finding ways to get you in the mood. Baby, what's so hard? Having a little fun. Baby, what's so wrong? Having a little fun. We've been working hard, having a little fun. We've only just begun. All day, all night, we will have a good time. Come on, let's break some rules tonight. Why not? Why not? Come on, let's break some rules tonight. Baby, what's so hard? Having a little fun. Baby, what's so wrong? Having a little fun. We've been working hard, having a little fun. We've only just begun. Hey.
Yes, EXCE0. Good to have you back in the stream. Good to have you back with more of your pop, electronic, future-based E-tunes. Thank you so much for sending it on in. So any feedback for EXCE0, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think could be improved about this song. Love the vibe you have. The vocals with the rhythm that you had of the chords worked really well. I love the percussion that you had, the drums, that also added to that rhythm and groove that is needed for these type of tracks. So you nailed the genre, the vocals, great vocal processing, great arrangement of the track. So really overall solid tune. You know, I was listening to it and I was trying to think, you know, it seems like it's missing something. I just feel like there's just one thing that's missing, and I couldn't find it. And then New Pointless mentioned the track could use more depth. I definitely agree that the track could use more depth. New Pointless says use more depth, maybe ease up on the limiter a bit and add some more complex percussion to give it more layers. Maybe add some delay on the percussion and EQ it to push it in the back. I definitely agree with this. More depth, more background instruments, more instruments that are a little bit washed out. This could be anything from, like percussion, could be more vocal effects in the background, could just be transition effects, such as sweeps, stuff like that. That's another thing I wanted to mention. I think it could have used more transition effects in the background. There was a lot of quick transitions, which were fine. I just think they could have been smoothed out a tiny bit and filled out a little bit more. Nothing complex, just some simple sweeps, downlifters, uplifters, that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely adding in delay, reverb on elements to give more of background and foreground at the same time to create that three-dimensional mix that is really, really key for a professional mix. Yeah, I just think it's adding a little bit more. I don't think it's really any taking away at all. And yeah, as far as the limiting goes, I know this style is definitely more limited than it's just electronic music is more limited than other styles of music. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but yes, when you do use a lot of limiting, more of the sounds come up front, and it also takes away from the dynamic range, which in turn takes away from the depth that you perceive from the track. So having more background elements and foreground elements, that the gap between those two closes when you have more limiting. So that's something to keep in mind as well here. So you can experiment with less limiting as well, see if that works for what you're aiming for here with your song. But overall, killer tune. So for any other feedback, go ahead and put that in the chat. Some impacts. Yes, definitely, Kyle. Definitely, that could work well. Definitely. So really just some minor work is needed for this song. Nothing major. The main idea, the theme, all that is working very well together. Yes, definitely agree, Buffalo Val. The synth sounded good and worked well with all the pieces. Yes, it did. What else here? So yeah, that's really mostly the only feedback that I had for the song. So just something to keep in mind there, EXE0. And again, we are doing the free giveaway of the Synth Master Player, 1,800 presets in this synth. Actually, I don't know any other synth that has that many presets. Like usually synths will have a couple hundred. Yeah, 1,800. Think about that. Think about 1,800 presets right now. You using 1,800 presets. That's like creativity forever. 47 concurrent viewers is what we will need. We are at 18. We are 18. We are 29 away. 29 away from the free giveaway. Invite your friends. Get them on in here. What is up, Christian? Thank you so much for coming on in. We are now at 19. We are getting there. The giveaway is not done already. The giveaway is not done already. Like I said, 47 concurrent viewers in the stream, and then we will do the free giveaway. So invite everyone on in. All right. We are moving on up. Moving on up. Moving on up. Embrium Cobra, thank you so much for the follow. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. As well as X2 Bass. Thank you guys both for the follow. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far and the feedback that I'm giving on everyone's track here. Next up we have MIDI Mailer with another remix. Here we go.
Trying to find some hidden truth. The pain is
Nice, MIDI Mailer. Awesome little disco remix there. So any feedback for MIDI Mailer, go ahead and put that in the chat, what you liked and what you think could be improved about this remix here. As OXHIMX said, the groove is great. It works really well for the song. Love the drums that you used. Could hear all of them very well. Hi-hats, drum fills, kick, all working well. Essential for a disco song. What do you mean the hook is aggravating? 0xHIMX. What do you mean by that? S suppressor is just a dynamic EQ in high frequencies to make the S and other harsh consonants less obtrusive. Isn't it called something else, or is this a specific type of plugin from another company? I feel like it's not. I feel like it's not. it's an ass suppressor. That's what it is. Isn't there another thing? Vocal. Oh my god, what's the name of it? I feel like it's like suppressor. De-esser. Yeah, duh. That's what I'm talking about. De-esser. Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, it's essentially, de-esser is like a multi-band compressor. Yeah, more like a dynamic EQ because it has a much finer band, and it just acts on sibilance, so that that's probably really annoying for all of you. Sorry, new pointless. Yes, that is what I definitely wanted to talk about, the track Buffalo Val. It might sound more interesting if there was some more supporting instruments to further help the foundation for the vocal. So of course the vocal was the main event of this song, was front and center, just like you want it to be, but other instruments, they seemed more like background instruments, which when the vocal is playing, that is okay, but I think just adding more variation in the sections where the vocals aren't playing, specifically like the end here. You know, it just kind of felt like it was just going along. It just felt more like background music at that point when the vocals weren't playing. I think it could highlight some more of the instruments when the vocals aren't playing. I heard there was also kind of a vocal chop effect in there that could also work really well as like a main lead when the vocal is not playing. So think about having the other elements come in, have them be more impactful when the vocal is not playing. That way you can highlight and support more of the main theme of your song. I think that was really one of the main things that I wanted to talk about in the track. Just the other instruments playing more of an important role in the mix as not to be background instruments. Also, I think more variation in general, maybe in the drums, maybe in the hats, could be used just to give it a little bit more interest. I think nothing crazy here. Don't have to add in completely new sounds or anything like that, but just a little variation just to give more interest. Also, what else? Let's see. I don't know why I couldn't remember de-esser. But yes, the vocals could use some de-essing. They did sound a little harsh. I forget what the common frequency is for sibilance. I mean, it changes for every single vocal because not every vocal, not every vocalist, not every human voice is the exact same. So the sibilance is not going to necessarily be at the very specific frequencies, but it's usually in a very narrow frequency range. So you'll definitely want to do some de-essing in that area. If you don't have a de-esser, dynamic EQ will work as well. Again, it's just a very small amount of dynamic EQing. So what happens with the dynamic EQ, it's essentially the same as a multi-band compressor, except that it has a much narrower range that you can reduce or add frequencies, as well as you can change the Q. With multi-band compressors, you can't really change the Q or bandwidth that well, or it's not very flexible. And yeah, this will just help you get out those S sounds without really taking out too much of the vocal and taking out those S sounds only when they play. But other than that, definitely excellent tune. Thank you so much, MIDI crew. Do appreciate you sending it on in the track. Any other feedback or any other questions for MIDI Mailer, go ahead and put that in the chat. And again, 47 viewers. We're doing the free giveaway. We have 18 in here right now. Let's get in more people. MIDI crew, invite some people. Invite everyone on in here. Everyone else invite everyone on in here. And let's get 100 viewers in here. If we hit 100 viewers, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll just give away my entire stockpile of free giveaways that I have. Who knows? Who knows? Crazy things can happen. Crazy things can happen. As I say that, someone left. Sorry, I just was crying inside after I said that and someone left. I just needed a minute to recover. Okay. Here we go. Thank you again, MIDI Mailer. Next, we have Liven. Liven, are you alive in the stream? Let me know. Larson. Okay, sweet, sweet. We can go over your song right now.
Waking up, taking chances tonight. I'm opening my eyes and I'm feeling alive. You give me all the strength that I need, and I wanna know if I can be by your side. I don't wanna be anywhere but by your side. I just wanna be here
all right. Loving it. Loving the progressive house song. Haven't heard one in the stream in a while. Always love those anthemic progressive house type tracks. Big leads, big vocals, very melodic. Always works so well. Clubs, festivals. Great for springtime. So any feedback for Live, and go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think could be improved about this song. Go ahead and type away in the chat. Arrangement perfect. Great time. Great length. Different sections, perfect length. The elements that you had in the track for the progressive house anthemic genre, on point. The sounds you used, on point. Love the vocals, love the reverb delay, the processing that you did to them. That works really well. So everything working together very well in the track. And I definitely, I usually always comment on that first, even though it might seem kind of boring or obvious, because that's the most important part of the song, in my opinion. If the idea isn't working well together, the sounds aren't working well together, then no matter how good your mixing is, no matter how good your mastering is, no matter how good even your arrangement is, if the sounds don't work well together, then you have a problem, and something needs to change, because that is the foundation for your track. Tarako Music says the high-end information could be a little crisper and cleaner. Overall, I think the track could have been a little bit cleaner in the mix. The drop was a little bit muddy. You could hear all the elements in the track, but the bass line, the pluck got washed out a little bit, and the bass line, I think, ate up a little bit of headroom in the mid-range, or just it added muddiness a little bit, where I think it can be EQ'd, as well as the other synths that you have in there. I think they could be cleaned up in the mid-range, have them be more defined. I have just the tutorial for you. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Boom. Going to put this in the chat here for you to check out, for all you guys to check out. That is not the right one. It's not the right link. My commands did not work. Okay, this one. How to EQ a muddy mix. I recommend you guys all check it out, as I think this is one of the better ways to really EQ out the mud and create more definition in your mix. Definition is key. Just because you hear the sounds in your mix doesn't mean they aren't defined and give that three-dimensional sound that you want. EQing helps with this. What else here? Another thing I wanted to mention was the two different drops. I think they could be changed around a little bit. Specifically, the second drop, I think it needed something new. I've listened to a lot of progressive house songs in my day, and definitely something new needs to be added to the second drop. Now, this could be anything from starting the second drop with a slightly different pattern. Let's say you take out the drums for the first bar, and you just play the lead sound. That could work as the change. Just something a little bit different to give the audience for the second drop. So could work. Vocal chops could work in the second drop as well. Could definitely work. Definitely not necessary, but definitely something to experiment with and see if it can fit into the track. New Pointless also says, I think the verse is fine. The intro is more questionable. It's pretty tubby, and the leads are way off in the distance. It works as an intro, but maybe not as this length. Again, I think the EQing will help with the tubbiness of this, and you can definitely experiment with the length as well. Way to go, Fan Freak. Way to forget about the stream. Way to forget about the stream. How dare you? How dare you? Anyways, another thing, the breakdown. I think the breakdown here. I think you could have played with the breakdown a little bit more, as far as extending it out a little bit. Maybe have like the chord progression, make it more, I guess, slightly, trancey, I would say. As far as just having, just more, have the chord progression, have it really create an atmospheric vibe, a little more of an atmospheric vibe, just something to think about, maybe extend that out. That's just kind of what I was feeling. Maybe it doesn't work. Just something, again, to think about. What else here? This transition, I think, could be improved. It kind of felt like someone was on a DJ mixer and just adding some reverb and some low cutting. Yeah, it was too rough of a transition. You could definitely still wash it out, but I'd reduce it a little bit. Maybe just try adding in sweep effects. Sweep effects always help with transitions, drum fills, just anything to give more of a smoother transition, I think, because it kind of just completely washed out. The transition, I want to say this, it was smooth. It was just completely washed out, and it felt a little weird in the mix, I would say. And that's it. That's really all I would change with the track. Upon listening to it, just some small changes. The vibe, everything is great. Just those small changes. Moving on. Who do we got? Who do we got? E-Top Band, word up. Are you in the stream? Let me know and we can go over your song right now. Let me know. Who else we got? Fox, you will be up next. Again, if E-Top Band is not in this stream, let me know. Nice, yeah, definitely send it on back next Friday. That would be greatly appreciated. You know, anyone who sends in tracks, gets them reviewed, makes the improvements, or just makes improvements in general. Doesn't have to necessarily be the improvements that are suggested in the chat or by me. Just any improvements at all. Would love to hear it in the stream the following week to see the progress. Okay. Is that you, Sagafi, E-Top Band? Is this you? Let us all know. Let us all know. I'll go ahead and load up Bradley's as well here. Okay, sweet. Let's go over E-Top Bands and then a Bradley's tune. Let's get in the mix.
Thanks for tuning in, and here's a brand new hit. You heard it here first on Street Wave Radio.
Hey, baby, let me love you all night long. I want to give my love to you, because when I look into your eyes, those big brown eyes, I want to give my love to you.
E-Top Band, thank you so much for sending on in the Street Wave song. Street Wave, haven't heard that before. The new genre, synthwave, going into street wave. Synthwave is taking it to the streets. So any feedback for E-Top Band, go ahead and put that in the chat, what you liked and what you think could be improved. Overall, great vibe. Love the, I've never heard street wave before. First time. But yeah, definitely taking part of that synthwave genre. Those Moogie type bass lines with the chunky drums. That works well. Definitely Taroko music. I think the arrangement could benefit from some breakdowns and transitions as well. That was the one thing that I really wanted to talk about. I think it felt like the track was just running. The sections weren't defined, is what I'm trying to say. The sections weren't defined, and to define sections, you want to change around instrumentation in the song, or change around patterns of the instruments in your song. And what I mean by changing the instrumentation is the bringing in and addition or addition of instruments in the track. So breakdown section have a lot less elements than, let's say, the chorus section. Really playing around with that to highlight certain instruments, to highlight the energy levels of specific sections. That's one thing. The energy level felt like it was the same the entire track. That's what different sections of arrangements do. Intros are not as impactful as a drop or chorus. They have different energy levels. The energy level of an intro is way down here. Energy level of a chorus is down here. Your track should really have wave of energy becoming. Starts with the intro, goes into the verse, goes into a breakdown, and then a build up, and then the chorus. That's the energy level wave. So it should really just feel like an ebb and flow for the track. That's where it really creates interest in your song. So that's something to think about, really, in any song. Whether it's an ambient track, whether it's a dubstep track. Ambient tracks, of course, will have different levels of that ebb and flow, but they'll still have an ebb and flow. So something to think about when you're working on your song. Also, I think, the pattern of your synth really could be improved. It was pretty stagnant throughout the entire track. It was like a dun, 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 dun. Didn't really add to the rhythm, the groove, the interest to the track, so that could be changed around. Also, transition effects, that could work really well. Drum fills, that sort of thing, to help guide the listener into the next section where you make your instrument changes. Okay, we are at 25. We are at 25, making some progress here. Loving it. 22 away, over halfway there to giving away the Synthmaster Player by KV331 with 1,800 presets in this Synthmaster Player. Can be yours for free once we get 47 in the stream here. 21 away. That's it. If everyone invited one friend, we'd be hitting it. We'd be hitting it. Just something to keep in mind, everyone. Okay. That's how I'm gonna say okay from now. Okay, Iron Fox. It's time. Loving it, I Am Fox, Adventures and Nightmares. Definitely felt the adventure and the nightmare that was coming on. So any feedback for I Am Fox, or any questions for I Am Fox, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you think could be improved about this song, and any questions that you have for I Am Fox. So overall, killer tune as always. I would recommend, I'll just get right into the feedback. I recommend having some sort of maybe percussion in this section. Maybe bring it in closer to the drop here. I think that could add to just the excitement and the anticipation of this drop here. Also, some mixing will definitely need to be done in the drop. You do have a lot of synths going on that are taking up large parts of the mix and conflicting with each other. It was a little bit hard to hear. It wasn't hard to hear. It was just there were a lot of conflicting frequencies, so it was really hard to hear each instrument in their own space. But I believe that the instruments and the notes that you chose to put in for the instruments worked well. I would recommend maybe changing around the pattern of the bass line, maybe even changing the sound of the bass line, maybe even breaking it up a little bit more so it's not quite a sustained note. I know it's a modulated bass line, that brown, 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 but I think maybe adding in something that's not moving quite as much, also not as modulated, I think could work. Because you do have a lot of movement in the other sounds that are coming in and out, pretty quick melodies playing, and those really add to the movement already. So I think that maybe a more steady bass line could help with that. Just a thought, maybe you try it out and it doesn't work. That's just my instinct here from listening to it. I'm trying to okay, yeah, okay. Go full screen. So I lost my train of thought. Lost my train of thought. Okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, I remember. So oftentimes you'll have ideas about what you think will work in a song, and you're not really sure how they're gonna work out. You think they'll work out really well, so obviously you try them, and then they don't. And you have some idea that you think might work, and then you try it and it does work really well. Really, you only know how something will sound unless you really try it and implement that into your own song. Music production is all about experimentation. You all have heard that. You all experiment to some degree, but it's really true. And this is one of the ways that you train your ears. Music production is all about training your ears, in my experience. I remember a good example of this is, for all of you who know the artist Jameson Thieves, I went to music production school with him. He's like a dubstep, electro, bass house, one of the kind of the pioneers in the bass house genre. And he, technically speaking, I knew more than him when we were in music production school. But he was making better productions because he experimented a lot more than I did and tried out different ideas and had a more of a trained ear than I did. So while I knew more mixing techniques than him and everything, he was still overall a better producer because he had more trained ears. So again, this comes down to experimenting. Try out a lot of ideas. Having these versions, revisions, revision 4, that's great. Doing that is necessary to flesh out your ideas, to find out what works best for your song. You're never going to, I wouldn't say never, but you're not just going to start a track, every note that you play works out perfectly, and it's going to all come together like in an hour. That really doesn't happen. Sometimes it might, but more often than not, it's just not going to happen. Revisions are going to need to be made. You're going to have to mix and match certain sounds. You're going to have to try out different techniques, try out different notes, try out different musical passages. It's all going to change, and you're going to have to refine your ideas. That's really what it comes down to, and God, I feel like there was a main point to this when I started this full screen that I was gonna go with. It was ear training. That's really the goal. Ear training and experimenting. You get ear training from experimenting and find out what works. Right, okay, the point of this was that you don't necessarily know what's going to sound good or not unless you do it. So do it. A lot of producers are just lazy and they don't want to make different revisions and they don't want to, explore new ideas. They feel like that they are going to ruin the song they already have. You can always save the song and come back to it later. Experiment with new ideas. It will take more time, but it'll help you become a better producer. There we go. I tied it in nicely there. Struggled a little bit, but we got there. What else? Unfortunately, I cannot turn up the volume of my voice. This is as loud as the microphone will go. I do apologize there. What else? So yeah, we are 21 away from the free giveaway. 21 away. So hopefully that helped out there. I am Fox. Just a little bit of feedback there. You're definitely on your way with this song. Definitely killing it as always. So thank you very much for sending it on in. Kyle Mikkel, are you in the stream right now? Let me know. With the Deprimido mode track. Kyle Mikkel. I saw you in here earlier. Yes, absolutely. Drop could be mixed better. Drop is too muddy and hi-hats are too loud. Sweet Kyle, we'll go over your track. That's another thing. Good point there, JCOPTRE. If I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm just going to blurt out the letters. That way I can't get flack for it, for mispronouncing the name. Yeah, hi-hats. Hi-hats also I notice in a lot of productions, producers put them in too loud. Hi-hats don't need to be as loud as you think you need to have them in the mix. Usually when I set my hi-hats, I'll set the levels for them, and then I'll mix them in 1 to 2 decibels even lower after I've set the level that I think is appropriate, as they do become overpowering very easily in the mix. Another thing, all the instruments in my track, besides the vocal and the hi-hats, I'll cut at 18,000 kilohertz. That's again, all the other instruments in my track, I'll cut at 18,000 kilohertz with a high cut filter at around like a 24 decibel per octave high cut filter. What this will do is help the hi-hats and the vocals really shine through in the mix and give that extra bit of detail to the sounds that really require that extra sizzle. Very small change to the mix. It's not like it's going to be a night and day difference where you're like, wow, the hi-hats are just incredibly powerful and the vocals are incredibly powerful now. It's just very subtle changes. That's another thing with mixing. It's a lot of subtle changes that add up. All those subtle changes add up at the end of your mix. High cut is the same as a low pass. That is correct. High cut. High cutting. So you're cutting out the high frequencies. All right. Kyle, we will go over your track. Loving it, Kyle. Thank you so much for sending it on in. All right, we'll make a deal here, guys. So we're at 23. We're at 23 viewers in the stream. If we hit 40, we'll do the free giveaway. 40, 40, 40, 40, 17. Well over halfway. If we hit 40. If everyone just invites one friend into the stream, we'll be over 40. The magic number is now 40. Can we do it? Can we do it, stream? You decide. Okay, so any feedback for Kyle here? Anything at all? Go ahead and type away in the chat what you liked, what you think could be improved, and any questions for Kyle and his awesome production here. I wonder if a large pad would sound good behind it all. Maybe some epic strings. That is a very good suggestion there, Buffalo Val. Something to consider for adding interest to the track. I definitely think, you definitely want a vocalist on this. I assume you're planning to have, a vocalist on this, a rapper, something like that. So, yes, you missed your song, I Am Fox. No worries, though. You guys can all rewatch this stream on the SoundShockAudio Twitch channel under videos. I believe like 3 or so weeks of videos are still posted, as well as on the SoundShockAudio YouTube channel. I post every single live stream there in its entirety every single week. So if you guys missed it, you want to catch up on the feedback that you missed, or you just want to review what you missed, you can always check it out on the YouTube channel or on Twitch. Okay, nice. Your friend was going to rap on it. I'm waiting for him to send it back. Yes, okay. He's definitely left a lot of room. That's good. I would recommend... what was I going to say? I definitely recommend... Oh, yeah, okay. Stereo imaging. That's one thing I noticed about the track. Everything seemed pretty much down the center. I noticed, like, the chords in the background kind of had a little stereo imaging, but pretty much everything was in the center, which is definitely... You definitely have enough instruments where it doesn't sound super crowded, but you definitely want a more three-dimensional mix. And to get a three-dimensional mix, you need stereo imaging in your track. Stereo spread your hi-hats, pan your pan your hi-hats. Give more imaging on the bell, add some more delay, reverb to give a stereo image. You definitely want the 808, the kick to be in the center. The other instruments can explore more of the stereo field to give that width. What else here? I think the bell, I think you might need to do some more mixing of the bell sound that you have in the track when you have the rap in there. I definitely see those conflicting a little bit. So think about EQing the bell more than the vocals in this track. But again, you'll have to see once the rap is in there. But that's just my feeling for now, that you will need to do some EQing on the bell, as it will conflict and dominate too much. Yeah, definitely send us the vocals when or send us the track with the vocals on it. That'd be great. Again, would love to hear the tracks that you sent in previous weeks in future live streams. That way we can all see the progress that we all have made with the track. What else? I think more like transition effects, drum fills, that sort of thing, to help move the arrangement along, I think would really help out the song. Really nothing major there, just some small background effects and drum fills. But overall, solid. That was just you, Phantom Freak. Once again, that was just you that went offline. I'm just mad at you, Phantom Freak, today. You forgot about the stream. I can never forgive you. 40 is the magic number now. 40, 17 away. It's not that many. Not that many. It's really not that many. It's 17 people in here. We're giving away the Synth Master Player with 1,800 presets. You can use all those 1,800 presets today if there are 17 more people in here. 17. You know, so for every viewer, that's 100 presets. For every viewer that we need, just imagine that being 100 presets. Think about that. Thank you so much for the follow here, Schiller. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Next up, who do we have? Who do we have? Taroko, are you still in the stream? If so, we will do it. Yes, okay.
You should just go through. You know we can talk to lose. And your friends say it's alright, but you'll be here for a while. Maybe you feel it's right.
section. I think like one of the kicks is too low also. It's like just barely hitting, I believe. I think that's also what's causing the energy level to go down. So yeah, definitely check that out and see if you can make some changes there. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about. Really, creative track. Love the arrangement of it. Again, love the vocal chops. Love all the percussion sounds and melodies that you had. Just some mixing, some gain staging will go a long way for this song. So thank you for sending on in to Rocco. Do appreciate it. All right, who else we have up next? Who do we have? Who? Mech 2, Mechy. Are you in the stream? With goddamn. Let me know. No problem, Taroko. Happy to help out. Again, 40 is the magic number for the free giveaway of the 1,800 presets of the KV331 Synthmaster player. 17 now. We're 17 away. We can do it, guys. Have faith. Again, Mech with goddamn. Let me know if you're in the stream. We can go over your song. Go ahead and pull up another one here. So we are ready, just in case Mech is not in the stream. Fan Freak, you are up next after Mech. Let's get another cue going here. Who else we got? After Phantom Freak then is Jonathan. Yes, I can definitely check STZ123. So I don't think Mech is in the stream. So we will go on over. Oh, yes, he is. Sweet. Just in time. Let's do it.
Whoa, goddamn. Whoa, goddamn.
All right, Mech, loving it, man. Any feedback for Mech? Go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think could be improved about this bass house song. Loving the groove you have in the track, bass line with the 4 on the floor beat, and the other supporting basses that you had with their synths. Those worked really well to create that bass house driving, club smashing, festival poppin' song. A few things. The vocal chops you had here. Than you. I don't think those fit with the track at all. I would choose completely new samples. The other vocal you had in here. The two, I think that fit with the track. Just the other vocals, I don't know, they seemed like added like key, or just like the timbre of them was kind of weird. It just felt like they were forced in the track. So definitely change those. Also, you can add more vocals to the drop here. Add vocal shouts. If you listen to your favorite bass house songs, a lot of them will have those vocal shouts in there. Just a hey, a yo, what's up, something like that, just to give a little more interest to the track. A little more of that quick-paced, hard-hitting bass house vibe. I think that would work really well. So just adding in some vocal shouts in there. Nothing crazy. It doesn't have to be a main feature of the song. Just more of a decoration. Ear candy sounds in the track. What else? This section here. I think it needed more interest to it. It felt like it was just I lost interest a little bit in this section here when it came. I think adding in some sort of musical element as well, some vocals, continuing with the vocals, maybe add in the new vocal, try and, if you switch around the vocals in here, the vocal chops you have in here, maybe add those here as well. Again, just to add more interest to the song. It feels like, it's just missing something here. But really, overall, excellent job on the song. Again, great vibe, great rhythm to the song is definitely what you need for bass house type songs, and definitely will work well in the club. In the club. No problem, Mech. Happy to help out. Hopefully the feedback will bring you some value here. And again, 40 is the magic number for the giveaway. 19 away from giving away the Synthmaster player. Get people on in here. Fan Freak, you're up.
Accelerate. 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 Accelerate.
All right. Fan Freak, thank you so much for sending on in Celebrates. I feel like I've heard this track before, right? Have you sent this on in before? Yeah, I feel like I've heard it before. Or maybe something similar. So any feedback for Fan Freak, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you'd like, what you think can be improved about the song. All right. So I'll hop right into the feedback. As we all know, or for everyone who has come to this stream knows, Fan Freak always brings the freshest G house, bass house-ish, housey tunes. So we'll get right into the feedback. So I think arrangement could be worked with here. I noticed the energy levels of the different sections as the tracks progressed, specifically the main sections, the drop sections, the chorus sections, whatever you want to call them. The energy levels started at the top and went lower as the track progressed, which I don't think worked as well, in my opinion. I think I lost a little interest. So if we listen back to here, you have the little pluck sound, the fast rhythm pluck. That adds a lot of energy and excitement to the track. And then you have this section here.
Accelerate.
Where you have different sounds in there. It's different, but it's kind of just grooving along. There's just some lasers in there.
Accelerate.
And that background synth isn't so much of a main feature as the pluck here. So the energy levels drop off. I think you could start more with these sections first and then work your way into this section because it feels a little bit empty if you work the other way around. Again, you have a quick, fast-paced section and then you go into more mellow sections. So that kind of that's just the vibe that I was getting from it when I listened to the track. You know, I was expecting more in these sections. I was expecting more energy in these sections. Like I said, it was, of course, different the instruments that you used. I also think you could use I mean, you had a lot of different sections, and I don't know if they all meshed well. It seemed like you had kind of 3-ish different drops, almost. And I think maybe they could be tied together a little bit better as far as using similar sounds, maybe just changing patterns, layering those sounds, not so much completely different, complete changes. I think that would really help with the song. So yeah, I think it's just some arrangement tweaking for this song to make it flow a little bit better. Would work well. That's really the only feedback I have for this. That's the only thing I really noticed that stuck out as I was listening to the song. I was listening to this section as it kept going along. I was like, I just feel like something's missing here. It feels like it's not going in the right direction. Yeah, I think that, again, that's it. Also the percussion here. The dun 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 dun. Well, the percussion and hats in general, I think need more stereo spreading or panning. I'm not sure what should go where, but they are all in the center, it seems like, and I think it could use some more movement. Not necessarily movement, just stereo imaging in a track. And also, I think the pattern of this, I think it was maybe too much. I think maybe, I don't know if it grooved as well with the bass and the drums that you have. I think maybe reworking that a little bit, maybe take out some notes. I don't know, you have to play with it. I just feel like a better pattern could groove better with the rhythm that you have of the bass and the kick and the other drums. That's my thinking for it. So yeah, hopefully that feedback helped. 3 drops. So yeah, the first one, lasers, big pad, and then the and the rim shot percussion, all three completely different sections. That's what I mean by that. So yeah, I just think making it more congruent with each other. Three drops will grant you more than a trip. That's definitely, yes, that will. I can see that you're picking up for Jay Heinrich, Christian, for the drug references on Phantom Freak's track. So that's good. In Jay Heinrich's honor. Okay. Just got informed by something yesterday about SoundCloud. The stupid jerks are cutting songs from 16,000 kilohertz and up. What? What? Is that true? Because that's a load of horse shit. That is a load of horse shit. Okay. Moving on up here. Yeah, so did that make sense, Phantom Freak, at all? About the 3 drops? Somewhat. Maybe. So next up, yes. Jonah, are you in the stream right now? Let me know. We can go over your song. Give me a holla. Give me a holla. Next up is Tristan Oliver, and then this is after. Okay, sweet. Sweet. God, that made sense. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying, Christian. Yeah, so Jonah, you in the stream? Let me know. If not, then we have Tristan Oliver. Bam Bam, are you in the stream? Bam Bam, give me a Bam Bam. Bama Bama Bam. Bama Bama Ram. No, none of you guys are in the stream. Okay. That's okay, moving on up. Trest on range. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I know I mispronounced your name probably, but I do appreciate it for the follow. Good to see you coming on in. X2 Base, I don't know what your name is from the email that you sent me, so I'm not sure if you sent me one. I am not a mind reader, as many of you think that I am, which I wish I was, but I am not. I am not. Who else? Okay, Brand Utger is next up. Let me know. You're in here. Buckets. Are you in here? Buckets, are you in the stream right now? We'll go over it. Yes, that is you, JC. OPTRE. So we'll go over your track. And let's do it. Nice, Buckets. Thank you for sending on in the techno song. Really cool vibe you have going there. Really eerie, spooky vibe. So any feedback for Buckets, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think can be improved about the song. Like I said, great elements in the track. All worked really well. Definitely had that. Is this a specific techno genre that this track is in? Anyway, it definitely hit the vibe. You know, I've heard tracks like this, and it definitely matches up. No idea if it's another techno genre or not. It doesn't matter. Good song, regardless. The things that I think can be improved, really the mix. Dark and ambient. There you go. Dark and ambient techno. So, Buffalo Val says it might work to try a wider variety of sounds. The accent sounds go to sounding the same. Okay. What would you suggest then, Buffalo Val, adding into the track? What variety of sounds do you think would work for this particular song? Like I said, the mixing could be improved. The ghost-like vocal whisper, whatever that was, effect. Let's play it. Was a little bit too loud in the mix. The drums also could be a little bit louder in the mix. With all electronic genres, you want the drums really to be the driving force of your track. You want this song to really translate well on different sound systems. You want this to be played in a club. The drums need to be more impactful. One of the things, again, I think that Ghost Whisper, or whatever that was too loud in the mix. Also could be EQ'd a little bit to fit in better. I think it just, dominated the mix too much. It poked out the mix, too much. And I just, reducing volumes, EQing would really help with it. Thank you so much for the follow, Afterglow. Oh, no, that was an Afterglow. Afterglow just sent me a track. Clay Tiller, thank you for following. Do appreciate it. Thank you for sending on in the track, though, Afterglow. What else? Get the drums, compress them together, could saturate them, could saturate the drum group. All that works well to add more power to the song. So transient shapers to add more impact to the transients of your kick, of your snare. That would work really well. Or is the snare clap? What do you have in there? That could be one thing you get out of clap. You don't have a clap in there. Something to think about. Thank you as well, Viva La Bam Bam, for the follow. Do appreciate it, as well as 2 weeks on Twitch. Thank you guys. So, quirky one-shots like spring sounds or clangs or yelps. The sounds were the vocalist chops that I heard all sounded alike. Gotcha. Kyle McKell, we went over your track a while ago. You'll have to go back and watch the stream. Just go on over to videos in the SoundShock audio. Oh, second one. Unfortunately, we will not have time to go over a second one as there's a lot of other people in the queue right now. We usually do not have time to go over other people's second tracks. Sorry about that, Kyle. That way it's fair to everyone here. What else? I think that's really the main issues that I had with the track. It was just the drums weren't impactful enough. I also think maybe the synth you had at the end here, the crazy synth. I think those were also a little bit too loud in the mix, comparatively to the drums. Maybe reduce that in volume. But other than that, definitely cool little track here. Thanks for sending it on in. Do appreciate it. Bam Bam. You are up next.
I've been geeked out for weeks now. Don't like to be sober. I've been feeling really weak now. Want all this to be over. I'm for line, I'm at my peak now. Don't want this to be over. I've been geeked out for weeks now. Will never be sober. I've been waiting for someone to save me. I've been waiting for someone to save me. I've been kicked out for how I'm behaving, but it's so hard to quit complaining. I'm so fucked up, don't know what I'm saying, but found love with drugs and I can't live without it. Can't live without it. Can't live without it. I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love. I've been geeked out for weeks now. Don't like to be sober. I've been feeling really weak now. Want all this to be over. I'm for line, I'm at my peak now. Don't want this to be over. I've been geeked out for weeks now. Will never be sober.
Loving the track, Bam Bam. Really cool vibe. Loving the electric keys in there, the Rhodes. It seemed like the vocals, with the little bass you had in here, worked really well to add ambience, vibe, and power to the track. Any feedback for Bam Bam, go ahead and put that in the chat. What you'd like to think could be improved about the song. 21 away from the free giveaway, 21 people coming on into this stream, and we'll do the free giveaway of the Synthmaster player. Also, thank you for the follow, Mike Izar. Thank you. Do appreciate it, as well as the feedback. Definitely could use some hats. I think just percussion hats, experiment with that. Something light in the background, I think could really help with this. Yeah, just an idea. Experiment with it. Can add something very minor. It doesn't have to be a crazy percussion line or hi-hat line or anything like that. Just to add a little more ambience and vibe to it. Well, some textures could be added into this, some Foley samples, I think, to highlight the vibe and theme that you have going already for the song. Good suggestion as well there, a Jolly Gamer. I definitely think some spacing of the vocals. Since you have so few instruments playing, you definitely want to give as much character space, layering as you can to the instruments that you already have in the mix to create an interesting three-dimensional mix. And definitely adding in some more reverb, some more delay on the vocals to space it out, to give stereo imaging, to take up space in the frequency spectrum would help. Pads can actually absolutely work in a track as well. Definitely something to try out. Yes, lush open hi-hats and rides. Rides can work really well for this. I think rides is the key here, actually. Good suggestion, Christian. What else? I think the bass line could be played a little bit more. I think you took it out. Yeah, you only had it playing for a little bit and took it out. Definitely continue on with it once you have it playing. I think that will... I mean, it sounded good, so why not have it playing a little bit more? Other than that, excellent track there, Bam Bam. So far, I've got a lot of unique tracks today, everything from gritty ambient tracks to more melodic, Rhodesy vocal tracks like we just heard, to progressive house songs, to ripping bass house songs. All good to hear. STZ, we are up. We are up.
2, 3, 4. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, my heart knows it better than I know myself, so I'm gonna let it do all the talking. Ooh, ooh. I came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Ooh, ooh. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking. Ooh, ooh. But the big black horse said, look this way. He said, hell and day, will you marry me? Ooh, ooh. But I said, no, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me. No, 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 no. I said, no, no, you're not the one for me. Ooh. But I cut some cord and I shouldn't have done it, and I won't forgive me after all these years. So I sent her to a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. Now I won't come back 'cause it's all so happy, and now I got a whole new world to see. And it said no, 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 no. It said no, no, you're not the one for me. No.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for sending on in the track. X2 bass with the visual as well. So your feedback for X2 bass. Go ahead and put that in the chat. What you liked, what you think would be improved about the song. I love the vibe that you had. Really cool, interesting sounds in the mix. Definitely worked well. Love the imaging that you had on the drums. Very impactful drums that really carried the song. Definitely variation though is needed. It felt like it was more like an 8-bar loop than a song really. Also it needed more mid-range in the track. That little scratching sound that you had was pretty faint in the mix. It was tucked back behind the drums. The drums were way up here, and that was in the background. So it really felt like more like a drum track than a song. Adding in more instruments, adding in the vocals back in, creating progression, taking out some drums, adding in more drums, having like a pad, having a lead, having another bass come in, have some sort of transition effects, have Foley, have drum fills, really to arrange out the song. That's what will be needed. Listen to tracks in this genre style that you're working in, and listen to the different elements that are played in the different sections of these tracks to find out how you can arrange out your track. That would be the best bet for this. As again, it felt like more like a loop rather than a track. So definitely a good starting point for your song here. Yes, definitely had a really cool feel to it. Definitely agree there. Blue Eyes 47. Thank you for joining as well. Definitely a cool retro vibe. I agree there. 2 weeks on Twitch. What else here? But yeah, definitely would love to hear this more fleshed out into a song. Definitely you're on your way, and the mixing of the drums, which is really important for this, you know, electronic music in general, is spot on, and you're ready to rock the club with those drums. So definitely thank you for sending on in. Do appreciate it. Nobody Matt, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Do appreciate that. Always good to see new followers. Thank you. So that is actually going to do it for this week's live stream. I want to thank you all for joining. For everyone who sent in the track, don't be upset, don't be mad, because I will be giving you feedback through email. So if you do not get your track played, I'll be giving you feedback through email on what I think can be improved about the song. That way you can hopefully take something away and improve the song and send it into a future live stream. Again, I'll run the live stream every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. GMT for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yes, it did come a little bit late. Sorry about that, Blue Eyes 47. I do appreciate you showing up in the stream, though. We did not do the free giveaway today. We did not hit 40 viewers in the stream, so we do have the Synth Master player to give away next time. Once again, every live stream is going to be having free giveaways from now on. So come on in, get people on in here, and we will get free giveaways. I think we only hit like 28 or so in the stream. Again, our goal was 40 this week. We didn't hit it. Let your friends know about the live stream, the awesome feedback that they can get on their music, first and foremost, and then the free giveaway that they can win as well. Again, the Synth Master player has not been given away, and will be given away next week. 1,800 presets in this plugin. That is a lot. I don't know any other synth that has 1,800 presets, actually. Could be yours for free if we hit 47 viewers in the next live stream. That is 47 viewers. If we hit that, we'll be giving it away. Again, let your friends know about the live stream. If you had your track heard on the stream and you want to get the feedback, again, you forgot some of the feedback, didn't write it down, just want to review it again, want to review other people's tracks, want to just see, just how the live stream is run, go on over to the videos section in the SoundShockAudio Twitch channel, and you'll find the last 3 weeks, I believe, of videos up there, as well as going on over to the SoundShockAudio YouTube channel as I post all the Twitch live streams the following day. So I'll be posting it tomorrow on Saturday on the SoundShockAudio YouTube channel, and you can view the other live streams on there as well. Any questions, comments, concerns about the live stream, about SoundShockAudio, about music production in general, you can contact me at daniel@soundshockaaudio.com or any of the SoundShock social media. I'd be happy to talk with you guys. It is great always talking to you guys. I converse with many of you through email throughout the week, and it's always great to stay in touch. So anything you guys have to say, I'd love to hear it. Send on in a message. All right. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sorry you weren't able to get your track played there, Courting Water 6. I did start a little bit late today. I did start at 12:05. I do apologize for that. Thank you, Christian. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, we will see you all next time. Again, live stream is at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. GMT every Friday on the SoundShock Audio Twitch channel, 12 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. GMT. Lots of cool tracks in here. Thank you so much for sending them on in. Lots of unique genres. Always good to see you guys and all the music that you produce. The variety really adds to the live stream. Not just having someone send in dubstep track after dubstep track. It's always good to get the full spectrum of songs. So thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you again.